Once again, I got to keep on saying that the primary issue in the sport of boxing is inactivity, especially from the high-profile fighters. You already know that the stars in their respective sports is what moves the sport. So when they're inactive, the fans gets inactive as a fan. And when there's no anticipation, then there is no real following. There is no, I'm not going to wait on anything because there's no anticipation. Devin Haney, the last time he was in the ring was April 20th versus Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, the last time he was in the ring was versus Devin Haney. But as we all know, he's suspended to next year. Gervonta Tank Davis only fought one time Frank Martin. Right? And is not going to be back this year. Teofimo Lopez, the last time he fought was Steve Claggett. And is not going to fight for the remaining of the year. Bud Crawford, who said that he's the, this is the Bud Crawford era, is not going to fight once again this year. But you know what, man? Shout out to Danny Dubois. Danny Dubois also could be fighter of the year, man. Fighter of the year, Danny Dubois, man. At least he's active. You know what I'm saying? Took his L versus Alexander Usyk, which could have been a win. You know what I'm saying? If they would have counted the legal shot, right? Fought Gerald Miller, Hergovich, and then beat Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? At least a guy like that. And he's young, 27 years old. He look old, but he's young. You know what, man? I think now we could honestly say that probably Danny Dubois is the one that's leading the way of this young generation. We talk about fighters that is under 30 years old of this generation. You know what I'm saying? I think that, of course, Bam Rodriguez, Teofimo Lopez, of course, he started the whole thing off of this young generation, daring to be great. But Danny Dubois, you know what I'm saying, he also, when he did challenge Joe Joyce, he lost. But, you know, that was a gutsy move by Frank Warren to believe in his fighter. But what I mean is, if you're just going to have two fights, it got to be high-profile fights. At least give me one high-profile. You just can't give me one fight that like Frank Martin and then wait a whole nother year for Lamar Roach. Nah. See, I could understand if Ryan Garcia would have never got suspended, he would have fought Devin Haney and then forced a touch-up or something like that, a homecoming or whatever. Understood in this landscape of where the sport is at right now. But if you fighting guys like I said, let's say, for example, Teofimo Lopez fought Jermaine Ortiz and Steve Claggett, should have fought somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And whatever litigation that he's going through, I think certain things is about timing. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he get whatever he needs situated, but everything is timing, you know? And it's tough to see fighters go through this in their prime years. Like, he's 27 years old, and now he's stopping himself, holding himself back, because he was supposed to fight, I believe, September 27th. Could have fought 3 times and then come back in December and fought 4 times a year. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez already fought in September. But look at all these, look at the fights that these guys has fought. Gervonta Tank Davis fought somebody that we didn't want him to fight. You know what I'm saying? It was a high profile and things of that nature. The same thing for Teofimo Lopez. A lot of people didn't want him to fight Steve Claggett. We love the Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, probably still the highlight of the year outside of the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, right? And Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. You could say that's one of the most memorable fights of the year, but that was in April. There's no momentum to the sport. There is no momentum to the sport. And like I keep on saying it, stars, high-profile athletes in their respective sports is what move the sport. It's the reason why this is a niche sport. It's the reason why this is a sport that many people feel like is dying. Many people don't even give a damn about it. Boxing entertainment is what people are into, because the sport of boxing is really the sport of boxing is really inactive, put it that way. The whole sport is inactive. The whole sport has too much bickering, too much beta-ness, too much divas. Oh, I don't want to fight, I need more money and this and that and stuff like that, man. I understand fighters when they're, you know what I'm saying, it's a life or death sport. So of course, they want to be compensated very well. They want to be compensated fair. Sometimes these guys, you know, I understand they don't want to be lowballed. But I also understand that these guys also ask for certain type of money that probably is not within their value. It's not within their worth. It is what it is. Canelo Alvarez, last time he fought was versus Edgar Berlanga, and a lot of people didn't want Canelo Alvarez to fight Edgar Berlanga. So now these guys may fight 1 or 2 times a year, but it's not even a fight that we want to really see, and then we got to wait for them for next year. We don't know when Gervonta Tank-Davis is going to be fighting again, right? We don't know when Teofimo Lopez is going to be fighting again. We don't know when Devin Haney is going to be fighting again. We don't know when Ryan Garcia got the exhibition. At least I believe, you know, boxing desperately needs a Ryan Garcia to be active. Check this. Mike Tyson at the age of 58 has fought as much time as Bud Crawford. That's a problem. That's a problem. And then people want to argue about Jake Paul. Jake Paul has fought 4 times in the span of 12 months. Jake Paul. But people want to be angry at Jake Paul. People want to be angry at Jake Paul. And then, and it's like, what? When they come back next year, who are they going to fight? Look, Gervonta Tank-Davis, we're going to wait almost a whole year to see Gervonta Tank-Davis, and he's going to fight Lamar Roach. How is this going to be moving the sport? I mean, I hope if Teofimo Lopez comes back, he's going to get the fight that he's been wanting to see, right? I mean, wanted to get. I hope he gets Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. Shakur Stevenson is not going to be back in the ring this year. It's crazy. It's just crazy. We got a lot of boxing content creators like myself that we just gotta. It's so much gossip. It's because they're not giving us any content. We going by certain people tweets and make a video out of it. Emojis, trying to read between the lines and who they talking about. It's crazy. Shout out to Keyshawn Davis. Even a young prospect, like how many times Boots Ennis got in the ring this year? How many times Virgil Ortiz fought this year? I believe it was twice. Should have fought more. Should have fought more times. How many shows that PBC has delivered? It's just, this year is very, let's be honest, 2025 has been very, a little bit disappointing. But shout out to Bam Rodriguez. Bam Rodriguez, he at least performed twice and performed with Juan Francisco Estrada. So it's one thing that, if you got a hard fight, hard camp, that took a lot out of you, you know what I'm saying? All right, give me the, all right, I understand the 2 fights. If you fought, let's say, for example, if a person, Tim Tszyu last year, right? For Mendoza, Ocampo, Tony Harrison, that's a good schedule, right? 3 times, that's a good schedule. Shout out to Joseph Parker. But these guys that are supposed to move the sport, especially in this side of the pond, this is why in America, boxing is not where it's supposed to be. Hopefully, Netflix does stay, and maybe some of these guys that's free agent, like maybe Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez could push something, could push a Netflix deal, something like that. Hopefully, maybe. But I'm happy that Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, I believe that's fight of the year. Matter of fact, I think the fight of the year should be given to one of these ladies, Cole, because it's nothing that is too much memorable, right? And even with the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, it does have an asterisk with it because they even changed it to a no contest. So did it really take place? We know it took place in our eyes and our minds, but it's just a disappointing this year, man. Let me know what y'all think. Hopefully we move on to 2025, and hopefully boxing, gets back to, we went from one of the greatest years in the sport of boxing, which was 2023, to one of the, it ain't sustained the momentum, and that's another problem in the sport of boxing. It doesn't sustain its momentum. Shout out to Reha season, but it seems like it's not enough. We did get Baturbia from Bivol, and I don't know, there's no anticipation. In boxing, there's always been anticipation. There's always been some type of schedule. Like we knew, like with Canelo Alvarez, we know that he's going to be fighting in May. But damn, May, it's the next time I'm going to see Canelo Alvarez. Wow. I don't know. Kind of a little bit frustrating. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Love you. God bless. And on to the next.